Good morning and welcome. This is a public information meeting for the municipality of the County of Kings in District 4. I'm the counselor for that district, and this particular planning application or information session is related to planning application to enter into a development agreement to permit the conversion of an existing commercial space at 1520 Bridge Street into 2 new residential units in conjunction with 2 existing residential units for a total of 4 residential units at 1518 and 1520 Bridge Street, Kingston, Nova Scotia. The applicants are David and Kathy Turner. And when we get to it, our planner, Will Robinson Mushcat, will be doing the presentation. I will say that normally we would be having this at a location within the district, but due to our COVID times, we are doing this virtually. This presentation will be posted online, and there will be a 30-day commenting period so that you may get in touch with Mr. Mushcat via email or telephone or any other way to ask him questions, to make comments. And this is strictly an information session and no decisions have been made at this point. So at this point, I will turn it over to Mr. Mushcat, and he can do the presentation.
Thank you very much, Councillor Armstrong. So as Councillor Armstrong mentioned, this is a...
Sorry.
No problem. This is a public information meeting concerning a planning application to enter into a development agreement. The applicants are David and Kathy Turner, and it concerns the property at 1518 and 1520 Bridge Street in Kingston, file 20-07. So the purpose of a public information meeting. The purpose of a public information meeting is to inform the public of the application. It is to explain the planning policies that enable the application to occur, and it is to receive preliminary feedback. And I'd like to note that no opinions have been formed yet on this application. So what is a development agreement? Well, the development agreement is a legal contract between council and a property owner. It restricts the developer to the use or types of uses outlined in the development agreement. And it allows council to exercise more specific control over not only the type of use or uses, but the character, form, and maintenance of the development. Finally, a development agreement runs with the land. That is, the conditions do not cease if the land changes ownership. So the proposal. The application is to permit the conversion of an existing commercial space at 1520 Bridge Street into 2 new residential units in conjunction with 2 existing units at 1520 Bridge Street for a total of 4 units. The applicants are also seeking the development of a garage, which would be accessory to 1518 Bridge Street with space for a home-based business, hair salon. This is a map of the municipality of the County of Kings, and in the red circle, which will appear here, you'll note the location of the area in Kingston at the western end of Kings County. This is an air photo map of the subject property and the surrounding areas, so you'll note that it really is in the heart of the village of Kingston. The subject property is outlined by the black hatching there, and there's a significant amount of commercial development as well as residential development surrounding the subject property. This is a fairly dense area within Kingston and certainly within the municipality as well. This is a much closer view of the subject property, which is highlighted in red. You'll note that there is frontage for the 2 properties on Bridge Street. 1518 would be closest to Bridge Street, and 1520 Bridge Street is located to the rear of the property, which is where the proposed conversion from commercial to residential is being sought. This is the future land use map of the subject property and the surrounding areas, and so You'll note that the subject property is in a commercial district, and a significant portion of the area in question is commercial, certainly with frontage along Main Street and Bridge Street, while there's residential districts on either side of the commercial district. So this is really the commercial area of the Village of Kingston. This is a zoning map of the subject property in the surrounding area. So again, you'll note that the areas that are designated for commercial use feature commercial zoning, either C1, the general commercial zoning, which contains a lot of the kind of larger stores with bigger footprints and larger parking areas. The central business zone, which is really intended for smaller scale businesses, but certainly a primarily commercial feel within that C2 zone. And then the C3 zone is the mixed commercial residential zone. So this is a zone that really the intention is to have a mixture of commercial and residential uses. So having businesses as well as properties for residential purposes, sometimes above the business, sometimes having home-based businesses, sometimes having two buildings on the property, such as in this particular case. And then you'll note that the areas that are were designated residential on the previous map all fall into the R1 or residential one unit zone. So this is primarily lower density housing forms, single unit residential houses on a lot. So this is a photograph of 1520 Bridge Street. You'll note that there are a couple residential units already within the building, and the idea would be to convert the lower floor to new residential units as well. So become a building that has an exclusively residential use to it. This is a photograph kind of taken from the same position, but instead of looking at 1520 Bridge Street, you're looking out towards 1518 Bridge Street, the rear of the house, and as well the driveway and the entrance to the subject properties. This is the driveway leading alongside 1520 Bridge Street to the rear of the property, where there'd be some parking area for storage and for refuse disposal there as well in that photo. This is the rear of the subject property, 1520 Bridge Street. So you'll note the entrances to the two existing residential units, some veranda areas for the occupants of those homes, and parking as well. This is the driveway access point to 1518 and 1520. So you're looking out towards Bridge Street there. And then this is 1518 Bridge Street, excuse me, the front view on, and you can notice on the just the right-hand side, Bridge Street extending towards Greenwood there. This is the aerial photograph of the subject property. And the reason why I highlight this again, you'll notice 1518 and 1520 Bridge Street, and the garage would be constructed in between the two, kind of tucked in behind 1518 Bridge Street, towards the side of the subject property closest to Victoria Drive. So with regard to the policy review, so the municipal planning strategy of the municipality of the County of Kings, Bylaw 105, Policy 3.2.9 states, consider only by development agreement in all commercial zones proposals for residential developments that cannot meet applicable zone standards. And in evaluating such development agreements, council shall be satisfied that the condition that prevents the proposal from being permitted as of right in the designation is addressed by the DA. In this particular instance, it's the setbacks from the side and rear lot lines which prevent the proposal from being permitted as of right, and therefore is being sought to be approved under the development agreement. B, if the proposal is for residential mixed use, council shall be satisfied that residential component of the proposal has a compact building form and doesn't consist of low density housing forms, that the proposal is oriented towards the street and contributes to a vibrant and active streetscape, and 3, that the proposal incorporates pedestrian friendly features into the design, and C, that the proposal meets the general development agreement criteria. And these are the criteria that all development agreements are evaluated under. So with regard to those general development agreement criteria, 1, that the proposal is keeping with the intent of the municipal planning strategy, that the proposal is not in conflict with municipal or provincial programs, bylaws, or municipal regulations, that there's no undue negative financial impact on the municipality, that the proposed use is compatible with the surrounding land uses, that there is an adequacy and proximity of institutional and community facilities to the subject property, that traffic considerations such as road network, traffic generation, and congestion are accounted for and addressed, that there's adequate fire protection services and equipment, that there's an adequacy of water and sewer services or on-site servicing, that there's no potential for creating flooding or drainage issues, that there's no negative impact on well fields or groundwater sources by the proposed use, that soil erosion and siltation of water courses is examined, that there's no negative impacts on lake water quality, negative impacts on farming operations, and that the site is overall suitable for the proposed use in terms of the physical characteristics, the grade, topography, soil, etc. So this list of criteria is general for all planning applications, and obviously some of the criteria to be addressed aren't necessarily applicable to every single planning application, but in evaluating a planning application, staff will go through and we'll make sure to contact various internal and external agencies and conduct our own reviews so that the criteria which are applicable to the planning application at hand are addressed. So in terms of the development agreement process and the timeline, so we're at the very early stages of the planning application. The complete application has been received, and we're recording this PIM, which will be posted to the municipality's planning website, and we'll open up a 30-day period for commenting. Members of the public can pose questions and comment on the application at hand. Upon completion of the public information meeting portion, staff will conduct a review and draft a report and draft DA. This will be reviewed by the Kingston Area Advisory Committee, which will forward on a recommendation to the municipality's Planning Advisory Committee, and the Planning Advisory Committee will forward a recommendation on to Council. Municipal Council will hold initial consideration, schedule a public hearing. Public hearing will be held, at which point the public will have another opportunity to comment upon the final planning application. Upon conclusion of the public hearing, council will undergo what's known as final consideration, where a vote to approve or deny the development agreement application is taken. And finally, there's a 14-day appeal period of council's decision as mandated by the Municipal Government Act. Properties within 500 feet will be notified by the public hearing, by letter mail, and the public hearing will also be advertised in the local newspaper. With that, I'll post my contact information, so any questions or comments can be addressed to myself, Will Robinson Mushcat Planner, with the Municipality of the County of Kings. Phone number 902-690-6173. My email wrobinson-mushcat@countyofkings.ca. And please feel free to also go to the municipality's active planning applications webpage, and that is at www.countyofkings.ca/planning. With that, I thank you for watching this video, and I will turn it over to Councillor Armstrong.
Thanks very much, Will. So Will's pretty much covered everything that's the meat of this application. I just want to remind you again of what Will has just said, that public comments and questions will be taken into consideration for the next for 30 days once this is posted on the website for the municipal planning department. He has listed out all of his contact numbers and email and web. But we would like to remind you very quickly that we would ask you that you provide your name and civic address when you make those questions or comments to Will. We asked the applicants if they would be available to join us today. Unfortunately, they were unable to, but as we have said, this is the very first step in this process, and they will have the opportunity, as will you, to join in as we move through this process. So on behalf of Will and myself, I thank you very much for joining us, and have a nice day. Thank you very much. We unrecording, Will?